Glossary Academic Realism's Academic Art. A style of painting and sculpture produced under the influence of European academics or university. In India, it arrived under the aegis of colonialisms, when art academics were established in Calcutta, now Kolkata, Madras, now Chennai, and Lahore by the middle of the 19th century. Abstraction and abstract art. The process of taking away or removing characteristic from something in order to reduce it to a set of essential characteristics. Abstract art exaggerate or simply forms suggested by the world around them. This form of art is identified with modernism but has existed before it. Aesthetic. A person who appreciates art and beauty and is sensitive towards it. Art critics. A person who specializes in evaluating, critiquing art and art practice and production. The reviews are usually published in newspaper, magazine, books, and website. Avant-garde, meaning advance-garde or vanguard. It refers to people who work that are experimental or innovative, particularly with respect to art, culture, and politics. It stands for art that does not necessarily accept exist norm or aesthetic or political theory. In India, it has been associated with cultural practice of political radical liberal intellect. Um, Bibliophile, a person who collects and has love for books. Chiaroscuro, the treatment of light and shade in a drawing or painting. Colophone's page consists of a brief statement about the publication of a book, place of publication, name of the publication, date of publication, etc. Community art. Art organized around a community situation. It is characterized by interaction or dialogue with the community. The term came into use in the late 1960s when it grew as a movement in the United States, Canada, UK, Ireland, and Australia. In India, artists like Navjot Atlaq and KP Soman engaged with it around 2000. They have worked with local community on social themes like exploitation, the rural-urban divide, and caste disparity. Connoisseur, a person who has immense knowledge in arts, food, or drink and can appreciate the same. Cubism. The Cubism movement was associated with works of Pablo Picasso and Gregorius Braque done in the year 1907. They were greatly inspired by the traditional African sculpture and painting of Paul Cézanne. In Cubist artwork, objects are segmented for analysis. When instead of depicting objects from one angle of view, the artist depicts the subject taking a number of viewpoints. Curator, traditionally meaning a keeper of cultural heritage institutions. Example archive, gallery, library, museum, or garden. In contemporary art, a curator is a person who has to devise a strategy for display of artwork thematically selected. A curator is expected to address the viewing public, and hence is responsible for writing the catalog, essay, and other supporting content for the exhibitions. Digital artist, someone who uses digital technology like computer graphic, digital photography, and computer assisted painting in the production of art, which has the possibility of mass production of artwork. Easel painting, a painting executed of portable support such as panel, canvas techniques dates back to the Egyptian and Roman period, but with the introduction of oil painting it became popular in Europe from the 13th century. Etching. Opposite to the woodcut, the raised portion of an etched remain blank while the crevices hold the ink. In pure etching, copper, zinc, or steel plate is covered with wax or acrylic ground. An artist then draws through the ground with a pointed etching needle. The exposed metal lines are then etched by dipping the plate in a bath of etchant, example nitric acid or ferric chloride. The etchant bites into the exposed metal, leaving behind line in the plates. The remaining ground is then cleaned off the plate to make a print. The plate is inked all over and then the ink is wiped off the surface, leaving only ink in the wedge line. The plate is then put through a high pressure printing press together with a sheet of paper often moistened to soften it. The paper pick up the pink ink from the edge line, making a print. The process can be repeated many times. Several impression copies can be printed. Expressionism. The term refers to an art that expresses intense emotion. Expressionism is an artistic style in which an artist attempts to depict the emotional experience rather than physical reality. Expressionists distorted reality through exaggeration, vigorous and visible brushwork, and strong color in order to express the idea or emotions. Folio. An individual leaf of paper parchment either loose as one of the series or forming part of a volume which is numbered on the front side only, or shortening, showing or portraying an object to be closer than it actually is, to having less depth or distance as an effect of perspective or angle of visions. Genre. A style category of art, music, or literature. Gouache. Opaque watercolor is a type of water media paint consisting of natural pigments, water, binding agent, and sometimes additional material. It is an opaque method of painting. Illusionism, a style in which artist representations are made to resemble real objects. Indigenous art, the art and the idea to draw inspiration from one's own past and culture and traditional practice which have roots in its own past. Installation art, a contemporary art form that does not necessarily break away from conventional method like painting and sculpture but combine most heterogeneous material to transform the perception of the space and plasticity. It may use everyday materials, also technology like video, internet to create a multisensorial impact on the viewers and not just visual. Internationalism, a trend in the art that open embrace the art movement from Europe and United States. Indian artists in the 1950s after independence aspired to modernism in the practice and qualify as informed pattern partner of the world modernist. Column style of painting, linocuts, a relief printing process that makes use of thin layer of linoleum can be mounted on a wooden block and is easy to cut. It is a soft medium lithography, a technique that emerged by the end of the 18th century. Porous surface, normally limestone, is used for making lithograph. The image is brown, the limestone with a greasy medium. Acid applied to transfer the grease to the limestone. It leaves the image burn into the surface. Gum arabic, a substance soluble in water. It is then applied, sealing the surface of the stone, not covered with the drawing medium. Mandi, local market for wholesale trade. Modernism, a phenomenon that modify and change human lives. It has universal approach and tries to apply that on all aspects of human life. Since its advance in the last decade of the 19th century, modernism would guide the manner in which human thoughts could process. The concept of modernism, which was largely developed on a philosophy as a philosophy and practice found it way in colonized non-European country, American, African, Australia. Moral: an artwork done directly on wall, ceiling, or any other large two-dimensional surface. It is one of the oldest format of arts, dating back to the prehistoric cave. Mysticism: religious practice with certain ideology, ethics, rites, myths, legend, magic, etc. Naturalism: a style and theory or representation based on accurate depiction of detail. Neem, kalam, line drawing. New media: a art form that create artwork with new media technologies such as digital art, computer graphic, visual art, and interactive art technology among others. It sees itself in a sharp contrast to traditional medium art like painting and sculptures. Performance art, a phenomenon that happened in the 1970s in the West when artists wanted to use body, often their own, to create an artwork. Either their performance was live enacted before an audience or recorded and thus mediated by technology. Physiognomy, a person, feature, expression, or gender appearance. It refers to an object as will. Pintados, painted in Spanish, may be on body. Popular art, now art form possible by technology or reproduction. So the multiple copy of art can be accessed by a large number of people. Calendar art is an example. Popular artists belonging to high arts show their work in art gallery but adopted them that relate with everyday life. Printmaking. The process of making work of art by printing on paper. It is a process of creating prints with an element of originality rather than just making a photographic reproduction. Prints are created from a single original surface known as matrix. Each piece produced is not a copy but considered an original set. It is not a reproduction of another work of art. Realism, an artistic movement that emerged in France in the mid 19th century. Renaissance art. The style in art, painting, sculpture, decorative art, and architecture and literature that emerged in Italy, Europe in about 1400, which revived the feature and character of classic antiquity. The revival of European art and architecture under the influence of classic model during 14th and 16th century. Sfumato, the technique of allowing tones and color of to shade gradually in one another, producing softened outline or hazy form. Video art that used kinetic image in video format with or without audio data. It emerged during the 1960s and 1970s in the West and became popular in India around 2000. Bibliography: Arthur W. G. 1959, Indian and Modern Art, George Allen and Unwin, London. Beach, Milo, Cleveland, 1992, Mughal and Rajput Painting, Cambridge University Press, Cambridge, UK. Chakravarti Anjan, 2005, Indian Miniature Painting, Rowley Books, New Delhi. Craven Jr. and C. Roy, 1919, Ramayam Pahari Painting, Mark published, Bombay. Dalmi Yashodhara, The Making of Modern Indian Art, Progressive, Oxford University Press, New York. Dwivedi VP, 1980, Balmasa, The Song of Seasons in his literature and the art, Agam Kala Prakashan, Delhi. Goswami B.N. E. Fisher, 1992, Bahari Masters. Court Painter of Northern India at Artibus Asia Publisher Supplement. 30 8. Museum Salzburg, Zurich, Switzerland. Guru Asha 2009 Modern Contemporary Indian Art Asha Guru Mumbai. Kramichi Stella 1975 Indian Painting from the Human Hills. A Survey and History of Art Miniature Pit Volume 1 and 2 Oxford University Press New Delhi. Megho Prana 2001 Contemporary Art in India. A Perspective National Book Trust New Delhi, India. Matt Mitra Partha 1994. Art and Nationalism in Colony in India 1850 to 1922. Cambridge University Press, England. 2001 Indian Art Oxford University Press, Oxford, UK. 2007 The Triumph of Modernism, Indian Artists and Avant-Garde 1990 22 to 47 Oxford University Press, New Delhi. Randwa MS and John Ga- Galbraith 1960 Indian Painting The Scene, Theme and Legend Oxford IBH Publisher Company Calcutta. Randwa MS 1959 Basoli Painting The Publication Division Government of India, New Delhi. 1960 Kangra Painting of the Bhagavad Purana, National Museum, New Delhi. 1962 Kangra Painting on Love, National Museum, New Delhi. 1971 Kangra Rangamala Painting, National Museum, New Delhi. 1972 Kangra Valley Painting, The Publication Division, Government of India, New Delhi. Singh Geeti 2001 Art in India, Max Miller Bhavan, New Delhi, India. Sinha Gayatri 2000 Indian Art and Overview, Rupa Goswami, New Delhi, India. Tagore Rabindranath 1927 Santiniketan, The Making of Context of Modernism, National Gallery of Modern Art in New Delhi. Severovsky Mark 1983 Deccani Painting, University of California Press, Berkeley.